What is up? How you doing, dude?
I'm doing good, dude. How are you?
I've said it like 1,000 times. I'll probably forever say it. When that music comes in, every time I picture just wearing a black leather vest, lights shooting off like WWE intro. It's fucking
Okay.
dope, dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's funny, man.
What are
I
you
have that
doing?
one. It's on like a like just like a random playlist of mine, and every time I hear it come on, I'm like, "Oh shit. Show's starting." What's up, dude? How are you?
Oh, doing good, dude. I was about to say doing good, but exhausted. But at the same time,
Mm.
we've got LRH bootlegs coming in tonight, and as most of you know, they are crossed globe. So they are 2 a.m. They were telling us. We had a little chitty chatter beforehand, so I can't
Yowza.
complain. They are way tired. How you
Yeah.
doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Moving right along, moving right along. Both kids are home right now, which is a rarity these days. So,
There
um,
you go.
one's on spring break, the other one's getting ready to go back to work. So just kind of hanging out, working, doing the shit.
House is full. The little pitter patter of kids again. Ah,
Pitter patter. Oh my
doesn't
god,
that
dude.
feel good?
Something
It's
like
like,
that.
yeah, the
It's
thumping
more like
around.
a it's more like a cash register machine is what it's like.
Oh,
It's you know what I mean? It's more like
fair,
one of those.
man.
Oh
Ah,
man.
you got once, right?
Say that again.
So you got one time, right? Hey, you
That's
want to
right.
say hi to the chat before we get carried away?
I will. That's what I was looking at. Man, I was scrolling back and man, I had to scroll back a minute. It's been going off. Dane Marks 152. What's going on, man? Hasselson, I'm assuming that's Lauren. What is up, dude? Folklore 201 in a row. Check that out. Suki, what's up, man? Was just talking to him. Poke Toys from the way up north. They're super terrible toys. What's going on, dude? Headcase Toys in the house. Headcase Toys on the show next week. Join us for that. That'll be good. Zimico, what's up? Our Lord and Savior, Mr. Ordinary, delivering the good news. What's up, dog? Toys and Tits, what's up? Abaddon 40, what's up? Slightly adrift. What's going on, my friend? The collector of collectors, Jazz Wizzy, Bliss Receptor, Neckrath, Ashley K, Micah J. Wow, there we go, man. Look at that. Posse in the house. Super terrible. We miss you, dude. Man, I saw your piece in the show last week, and I was just like, God, work schedules suck, dude. I think everybody should just request this block of time off so we don't have to get caught up all the time. Bootleg Austin, what's up, man? Yes, we do have a piece from you tonight, Bureau of Print in the house. Delta 1222. What's up?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys had to read it. Did you guys read that book in high school? It was Taming of the Shrew. No, not
Yes.
Taming of the Shrew. Fuck, what's that other one? I'm not gonna get it now. That little boy starts on a working with Shakespeare or whatever. Anyways, folklore puts me in mind not of what Shakespeare looked like, but if somebody were casting a Shakespeare for a show or a movie, that's what folklore always puts me in mind of. I don't know why. Yeah,
Jimmy
that
Folklore, man. Been here since the beginning. Dude, I posted something the other day and there was an old I think it was one of the very first carded figures that he did from the movie City Slickers. I don't know if you've seen that movie with Billy Crystal. But I think actually Billy Crystal, Daniel Stern, I can't remember the other dude's name. Jack Palance is in there, the old guy. He's great. But it's a picture of when the he's holding the cow that's just the calf that's just birthed is the card. So yeah, that was a memorable time in the movie. Very cool.
Hey, I'm gonna pull like a little kid moment because it's sitting right beside me here, and I want to show us off. So bear
Mm.
with me though. You ready?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm just stoked on this, guys. Check
Ooh,
these guys
what's
out.
that?
You know those babas that fucking I've been obsessed with trying to figure out how they do that. I don't think I've nailed it yet. These are like just duds, right? But I think I've kind of figured out what he's doing with those babas, what Healy's doing with those babas, and so I've been playing with that, and yeah, I'm excited about that, man. There's something about, and I know the guys get it too, like having globs in a clear. There's something about that.
Mm.
Just
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I mean, I've never even attempted it. I'm sure that you have. I mean, I don't know how long that process takes, man, and who knows how he does it, but um, you're right, dude. I mean, it looks like you're on the right path there, man. Those look nice.
Before I get too carried away, also, I'm going to share this because Super Terrible Toys mentioned it, and I absolutely cannot wait for this to happen. And also, I'm very fortunate. One of the weirdest things, not to just me all night. I swear I'm not a complete narcissist. Um, I do not really, I'm not really close with the old fam jam, but I'll be seeing my mother actually on May 2nd as well. They're coming down to Toronto. I probably haven't seen them in about a decade at least. So it'll be kind of nice. I'll get to kind of see them either for a quick little bite in the morning or a little bite in the evening. And then all the fucking toy dudes, like Super Terrible Toys, are going to be down here. Edwin
Mm.
Salas is going to be down here, apparently. Like,
Yeah, it's looking
it's going to be
nice,
a tough
dude.
one, man.
Yeah, they've been doing some good advertising as far as vendors that are
Yes.
showing up. Yeah, that'll be cool, man. That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, kudos to those guys over at the Outlaw Plastic Syndicate, man. They've really been doing a good job. I mean, considering they came up with the idea for this show. They're pushing the whole idea of it being $0 for people to come by. Even somebody, I thought it was interesting today. Somebody came by and they were talking about Comic Con and how they were looking for vendors for their own show. So I was telling them about this, and they had already heard about it. So I'm really hoping this gets people over to that neck of the woods checking this out and buying some wares and learning about this whole scene, man.
Yeah, dude, and hopefully it's just the first of many, right? So the inaugural show was, you would think that this would be the the smallest one, and that would probably, hopefully catch on a little bit
Damn.
and start kind of expanding over the years, just like assembly required, dude. I don't know what the head
Yeah.
count was at the first assembly required, but here we are, 6, 7, 8 years later. And he's moved the venue because he's got more vendors and more people in there. And I would think that Toronto, I mean, I know that scene before COVID, just from talking to you and everybody else up there, was just on fire, man.
We're lucky. Like Yo-Yo Dine, like they teach at one of like at OCAD here like about pop culture and that kind of stuff. Like they're really immersed in that, but they're also a very smart individual. Then you've also got oh my goodness, why is it slipping on me right? Doc Horror is also just like a very hard worker, smart dude, like very into like the local, support local. And then you got Gray Skull. So even just like the dudes, like out of the three I can think of, like just really, really talented, intelligent individuals. And I think they're gonna be able to pull this off really well. And then yes, you've got the experience of individuals like Angry Beast and Lab 9 and those kind of guys will hopefully kind of help in any way steer things in a direction if they need it. I don't know, dude. I've got high hopes for them.
Me too, man. And I think, just as people that are going, that are into the scene, that aren't artists, and just going to see that collection of artists in one spot. I mean, I can tell you from a collector's point of view, dude. I always say, man, it's very surreal getting in there and walking up to a booth and talking to people and shaking hands with people that you see online, you buy stuff from, you follow them, you support them. So to see them up close and personal, and then you have that many in one spot is great, dude. And I mean, and the amount of artists that are there from Canada. I mean, there's not a lot of artists that come down to the States for the shows. And that's nothing against them. I would say the same thing. There's probably not a lot of people from the States that go up to Canada for your local shows. That's just the way it works, man. It's a different country, for Christ's sakes. But it, you know, looks like there's gonna be a good mix. Like you said, dude, Edwin Salas is going out there.
Maybe
Super
Polka
Terrible.
from Timmins.
Nice, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, they've really rallied up a lot of different people from a lot of different necks of the woods. It'll be good, dude. I think it'll be
Ooh,
nice.
Sir Collect a lot. What's up, dude? Been a minute. Um, I had to circle back on Austin real quick, man. He nailed that Bruno Kirby, dude. That was the other guy in City Slickers, the guy with the mustache. Nice job. Very nice, Cave Dweller. I got a feeling that Cave Dweller knows everything from A to Z about like the most random shit, dude. He's such a cool guy, man. Speaking of meeting people in person at shows, I met him. Him and Kajiki had a table over at Assembly Required, and yeah, dude, it's always a good time.
That's got to be an
TND Toy Box. What up?
April Fool's on their page, right? That Cave Dweller show, like that can't be. That's an April Fool's, right? Little House on the
You know
Prairie
what,
versus
man?
the Waltons.
See, the thing is that's funny when I saw that, right? I paid it no mind because it's April 1st, and just kind of like a lot of the stuff that I saw. Although some of the stuff that you see, you fucking wish was fake, but you're like, nah, that's fucking real, dude. Um, but he, they did that show. The Shrek show started off as an April Fool's joke, I believe, right? And that became real. So then you look at this and you're just like, I don't even know what to make of that, dude. Yeah, it's April Fool's Day, and that seems so outlandish, but who's to say there's not going to be a show and people go, oh, I do that show. Oh, I can think of something.
Right.
I got a Michael Landon figure in my back pocket.
Oh my gosh.
Hell yeah, dude. Highway to Heaven? Come on, dude. That was back to back with Greatest American Hero. Man, what a block of shows that was. Fucking early 80s now. Wow. Team Walton's for the win. What that? There he is, dude.
Why does that look oddly like Cave Dweller?
That does not look like Cave Dweller.
Oh, you're on another planet.
Oh, man. Jazz Wizzy.
Look at
Professor
that.
Pickman's birthday is this coming Monday. So if any of you peeps think to do it, drop him a howdy ho. Very nice, dude. Yeah, Pickman. I haven't heard much from him, but I know that he had some. Last time we talked to him, he had some major like dental surgery going on when he
Yeah.
was on the show.
Yeah.
So I hope he's past that now.
Right. Well, I think it was a full reconstruction. If I'm not mistaken, there was a bunch of teeth and there was like a jaw break, and so yeah, Super Terrible Toys, hell yeah, but that was a fucking
Nice, right on.
blast. LRH Bootlegs is chilling in the old off room there. I know it's only 12 minutes in, and normally you like to really milk it a bit first, but do we pull them? They've been up for like 48 hours, so let
I
us
was
know.
just gonna
So,
say, dude,
or
let's
will
do
be.
him a favor and bring him in, and dude, let's beg this dude to get a couple hours of shut eye before he starts his day. Holy
Right?
shit. Yeah,
All right, homie, you all good?
good to go.
Man, there we go. What is going
Hey.
on, man? How are you?
I'm good, tired, but good. Still awake, still alive. It's all right. That's good.
There it is. There it is.
If I start flagging, I'll just say something nice about Crumbs. He'll get weird and shut and kick me out. You know.
Oh, jeez. You know too well.
Yeah.
For those at home, why don't you give a quick little, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm. Oh, full screen. Fuck that. So I'm Leon Hart, but artist and toy maker. You'll probably know me if you know me at all as LRH Bootlegs. There we go. From London originally, now live in Glasgow. I will make weird shit. Yeah.
There
Dude,
you go, man.
let me start off by saying that's a stellar beard you got going there, man. That
Thanks.
is proper.
It used to be down to my belly button, but it's a lot windier in Scotland than it is in like England. So I just got fed up of like every time I left the house, like even tying it up just didn't work. It was just like flapping all over the place. So I
Wow, dude.
can't be doing this.
215 over there right now, dude. So now we start off, you said that you've been up for a long time and you're going to be up for a long time more.
Yeah.
Please get a couple hours in there, but why don't you, I think that would be a good place to start, man, because those are a couple things I hadn't quite heard about. Why don't you tell us what the heck's going on?
So I've been up. So it's now 2:15 on Thursday morning. I've been up since about 5 a.m. Wednesday morning because of work. But today, so Thursday, in about 7 hours, I will be getting picked up by an art mover because I've got an art exhibition, and I will be installing that artwork. And then I have the open night tonight, so I'll probably be awake for roughly 48 hours before I get some sleep. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
At least you'll be showing up looking like a true artist, right? Like a madman. Big bags under your eyes. You'll be acting all weird. They'll be like, oh, fuck yeah, this guy is like artiste.
I mean, people better fucking turn up to the preview night, or I'm going to be pissed.
And what is it that you're showing in the show? Is it figures, or is it art, or is it a little bit of
No,
both?
it's all my paintings and stuff. Which, if anybody's interested, that's Leon Arhart on Instagram.
Got it.
You know, it's funny you mentioned this. I was asking B if they knew about these after last week's episode. I had pulled up your art page because we usually do a little chitter chatter after the show, and I was like, dude, did you see any of their actual like paintings? and we were doing a little like browse through on your work as well, man. Is this where you started then?
Yeah, so I'm self-taught in everything I do, but yeah, I've been painting since I was a kid. But I got into like oil paints when I was like 11 or 12, something like that, and sort of never looked back really.
Hmm.
Been exhibiting
Dude,
and selling my work since I was about 14, like my paintings and stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's always been a big part of it. Yeah. And then sort
damn.
of 10 months later, like
And
5 years
then
maybe.
where did the figures come in?
Yeah, so that came in like really recently, I guess. So I'd always like kit bashed and stuff as a kid, just didn't know that's what it was called. Like
Hmm.
I used to take GI Joes apart because you could just unscrew and they were O-rings, and then just because I'd be like, well, that head would look better on this one. I want those arms on that guy and those legs on that guy. So I'd just fuck them up. And most of my toys were also like bootlegs or knockoffs or from charity shops and stuff like that. And a lot of bootlegs also just had that big screw in the back. And whenever I saw a toy with that, I was like, I'm taking this apart.
Hmm.
So I'd always kind of played with it, but then never really thought much of it. It was just something I did as like a kid. And then during like a lot of people, I think, like the lockdown, we couldn't do anything. I just started playing around with a couple of kit bashes. And so I did these two figures called Turtle Wars. So one of them is like, oh my God, names. The guy from the Evil Dead, Bruce Campbell. I put
Oh.
his head on like a Ninja Turtle,
Hmm.
and then I turned Donatello into like a Star Wars figure. Um, and they got like a lot of attraction, like almost an annoying amount considering it was on my art page. Like they were getting more love than my paintings, which kind of pissed me off a little bit. But but then off the back of that, people started sending me all these videos of Rainbow Yawn, and I was like,
Hmm.
"Fuck, you can actually make toys." Like I still kit bash as well, but I was like, I never thought you could actually, just do that in your home. Um,
Yeah.
that just sent me down a rabbit hole of like, just
Hmm.
trying to figure out how to do that. And
Hmm.
like an idiot, I just jumped straight in on articulated 5.5 figures. That's where I started. I
Hmm.
was doing it, I think, probably for about a year or so before I set up the Instagram. Um, yeah, I don't know. And then after a couple of years of doing those, I then moved on to because I wanted to do like because I do all of the sculpting, the kit bashing, the molding, the casting, the carbacks. The only thing I don't do is the blisters because I cannot be fucking asked to be making my own blisters. Uh, so I buy those, and I couldn't. It's really hard to get like good quality ones for like motif style size in the UK.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to do a lot of like books and films that I love, so that's why I then moved
Hmm.
into 3.75s as well. But my scale goes all over the place. Like I don't because I collect in every scale. I also make in every scale.
Damn. Okay.
Really fix it up. But yeah.
Man, there's a lot there, dude. Holy smokes.
Let's start with this guy here because it was you mentioned you were already doing it for like a year or two before you created an IG, but then this was your like first IG post, so to speak,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so I went back through because I knew you'll be doing this, and I
Of
unarchived
course.
a lot of posts. But there was loads. There were some before that I just sort of deleted.
No,
Yeah, but I
you
managed to
sneaky.
unarchive a lot because all of those Dynaman figures, well, some of them are sold, and the rest they're all sort of exclusives to a shop in Glasgow called Hack on
Okay.
Shop. Um,
Oh, Hack on Collectibles. Yeah, dude. I've seen them
yeah,
before. I think
so
I think
if
I follow them.
anybody is
Yeah, yeah.
after Dynaman stuff, you got to go through that. Yeah, through there.
Okay.
This is
Um,
happening.
so he's got all of the Dynaman figures and then a couple of like 3.75s as well. But I'm not making any more of those. So once they're gone, they're gone.
Now, is there a reason you so adamantly would not make more of the Dino figures?
So I do still make 5.5s, but
Hmm.
All right.
I think when I made those, it's because I wanted them for myself.
Yeah.
And because I didn't know that there were any, and then I recently found out that there actually are like a knockoff line that actually have dinosaur heads anyway. So I was like, well, I don't really need to make any more now they exist. They're a thing.
Okay.
And then I did some other 5.5s recently with Teletubbies,
Yeah, of course.
heads. Actually, that wasn't that recent. That was a few years ago.
25.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so that's like a whole big set, and it comes with, if anyone does want, it comes with a playmat because I'm a nutter. But there we go.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah, if you
No,
buy the Teletubbies, you'll also get a little playmat to go with it.
what is that Playmate? If I'm like the
So
Playmate,
this
sorry.
playmat is actually stolen from a Teletubbies toy box set. But yeah, so it's an official Teletubbies thing that will go with my Teletubbies. Because why not? It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then I did some others with some Zimot heads. So like Zimot sent me like the ape head and the crocodile head, and I just sort of sculpted the neck down a little bit so that they weren't doing this. And then multicast. I've got a couple here.
Damn, dude, it's like you snuck into my house and we're looking at my tabs before you on.
I literally just grabbed the box, threw some stuff in it because I wasn't sure. I don't entirely know everything that's in this box actually. Yeah.
And now we got to see what's in your box there.
Right. So yeah. So there's the 5.5s. They're probably. I don't even know if you can see that properly. Maybe if I take it out back at you.
And
so
did you say those were a few years old?
The Teletubbies are. I think this is probably the ape head one's probably a year or so, but the ones maybe a bit more recently. I can't even remember. If Zimot's on the chat, you might remember when he sent me the heads. But yeah, the usual peg articulation.
Yeah, and no paint on that. That's all just the pour on that.
Yeah. I don't.
Damn.
I like to do like crazy. I like the resin to do the work. So yeah, it's so dark, but you can't. I don't know if you can actually see how nuts that pour is, but it's insane.
It's probably a lot brighter than it is. Yeah.
So it's like yellow, orange, pink.
Yeah, that fade on the forearms and on down by the knees is sick, man. Very nice.
Yeah, like there's a lot more detail in my work than I think people realize because I don't tend to paint my figures that often.
Right.
So they look a lot simple, and then people receive and they're like, "Fucking hell!" There's just so much going on these. But I mean, not so much on those. You know exactly what you're getting. That's a motif body with like the. But I've sculpted the forearms because I can't like get the hands. Like the motif fingers. Like I really struggled getting clean casts on the fingers. So I sculpted like forearms with a fist.
Oh, gotcha.
Just because it's just easier to cast.
Yeah. That's actually really freaking smart, man. Simplifying the original sculpt. No.
It was just for my own sanity. It was driving me insane. Like just trying to get that one hand. But the grab hand was fine, but the open path was just driving me nuts.
Yeah.
What is haven't touched on one of these. Yeah. What's going on here?
So they're kit bashes. Part kit bash, part sculpt. From like old toys that I painted. I want to make more of those at some point. I just haven't got around to it yet. Like the whole idea was like these sort of cavemen, but instead of men, they're actually the dinosaurs.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, I've only done 2 so far.
Well, I think you just touched on what I think everybody has a hard time with. How do you necessarily manage the painting, the toys? I'm sure there's work outside of this. Like, how do you necessarily find the time to put towards each individual hobby?
I'm a bit of a workaholic, I guess, like particularly with it when it comes to like art and stuff. And with my paintings, I've always got like 3 or 4 on the go at a time, but they take between 3 to 6 months on average, because you've got to like wait a month between each layer. Whereas with toys, once I've done the sculpt and the mold, like you can bash out toys in an hour. Like once you've got the mold ready, it's just getting to that point. It might take a while. So I like how quick they are, but then I get a bit like overexcited and overboard, and I just create just so many toys, like fast and like I can never like sell them. So I'm trying to slow down on that from a financial perspective this year, and wait until I've shifted a few more before I make the next batch, other than for shows and things like that. But with the painting of toys, it's weird because I love painting, but I don't really like painting toys that much. So I'll only do it if it's like I think it's essential. So like when I did the GI Joe figures, which I don't think are in this box for the GI show, no, they're not. They're not in my box. But I did airtight. You'll be able to find it on the thing. But it made sense to paint his backpack and to paint his eyes, and so I did it because it would have looked a bit shit if I hadn't. It would have looked like I'd half-assed the job, you know. And with a lot of stuff, like so from the turtle show, I did like 4 different versions of like mini turtles, which I do have. And with like the bandana ones, I was like, they don't need to be painted. That's fine. But when you're doing them in their green, it did make sense to paint like you know, but it's about what works for that figure. And the same with like the clear ones I painted on those because I was a
Oh, nice.
Damn.
Dude, what was that?
Yeah, what the fuck?
So there's
No,
glow.
sexy, man.
They're not in the box. I did 4 glow ones as well, but I didn't put them in this box.
Wow.
Yeah, I sort of pick and choose what I paint. Like the ninja figures as well. Like I painted some parts of those, but not all. But yeah, I prefer to make the resin do the work, and I'm quite good at getting like the color pours to like if I want a perfectly flat color or if I want it to curve and meld and stuff. I'm quite good with that. So you've probably seen quite a lot of I haven't got packed an example where I'll do it where like the boots will be like a perfect stop in like the color line before it goes to the next one. But my pore control is pretty decent.
Some hard gradient lines for sure.
Yeah.
Like you've got some creatures here I'm actually looking at. They've got like really good gradient lines right on like the hands.
Oh yeah. So I did 3 of those. I can't even remember how long ago now.
Yeah,
but
those are tight gradient lines there.
Yeah. So I like stuff like because I like once you've used the mold a couple of times, you sort of know where you can stop before you pour the next. And it's just about the timing of when you get it in if you want it to mix and stuff.
Damn,
It's good fun. I like playing about it. I like working in all different styles. But then if I kit bash, I have to paint it because otherwise it will look terrible. Like because you know what I mean. Like if so like this is from the some Muslim show.
Yes, dude.
Like there was no way I couldn't paint that because like the head's sculpted, the rest is kit bash, some of it's resin. I was like, it's just going to look awful if I don't like paint it. So
yeah.
Is part of why you're not a huge fan also like with working with the oils? It must be quite different going from oil painting then over to like acrylics and stuff for the action figures.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't enjoy painting toys. It's strange. I mean, there are some like I don't enjoy painting my own toys. There are some toys where I look at and I buy them like I'm getting that because I want to paint it. Like I got some toe beans from Pocket Salsa because I just wanted to paint them. You know, like they just scream to be painted. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't enjoy it that much. There are certain things I did like when I did I pack any of them in this box? When I did the Narongas for the cages. I didn't pack the painted one, but when I did these, I painted one because I wanted people to see the amount of detail that went into the work in getting it there. But I didn't enjoy painting it. So the other 2 I just did in like these sort of like, you know, crazy colors. But then you can't see all of the work that's gone into it as much. Whereas if you pull up where it's a painted one, you can see the detail a lot better than you can in just this. And you've got this in person. So
that's a gorgeous pour on that one too, man.
Real nice.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things I've made in recent times. I think actually that was good fun.
Well, even looking at like the painted one, it's crazy how just like even the teeth and the toes make such a difference.
Yeah.
Damn, man. You've been doing quite a few online shows lately this year. Like, do you find that kind of pushes your creativity at all?
I love doing them, to be fair. I only really do like the open call ones, but yeah, I do like doing them. Like they're fun. There are some that I will do as long as like the host keeps doing them, like Robot Resurrection and stuff like that, because it's just like, I mean, robots are fun, right? I mean, who doesn't want to make robots?
So you are going to be in the Robot Resurrection this week coming up?
Yeah, I finished my piece for that already.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
So that's that. Well, it helped that like the themes between his show and Cash Brand show are generally similar, so I can work on them both at the same time. And all my stuff for Robot Resurrection so far, even though it means nothing to anybody else, they're all part of the same world in my head. So like I already knew what I was going to make. Like I was just waiting for the go ahead that the show was happening. I already knew what I was making for Robot Resurrection. Whereas like Cash Brand's ones always confuse me because I'm just like, oh, there's just so
Yeah.
much. Like, I've just got to. I'll take a couple of words and I'll focus on them, and then
Right.
I'll see what I can do with it.
Which I think works really good, because that's one thing that I like about those shows, is that you see kind of a wide range of what words people
Yeah.
kind of took off on, or just maybe kind of the overall feel of the naming of the show. You have like two, I mean, obviously you're trying to keep them separate, where you're making toys, and then you have your other gallery shows for the
Yeah.
paintings. Do you have any plans to start like maybe mixing the two? Maybe something like Camelbot Commander, right? Like he's using actual paint chips that are in his pieces. Have you ever thought of going, or like trying to combine the two in some way?
Yeah, I thought about it a lot. I'd quite like to put on an art toy show, like physically. I don't, I wouldn't really do like a online one. I like participating in them, but I don't think I would. You've got to have like, because of the way Instagram now works, unless you've got a certain amount of followers, like you're restricted in what you can and can't do. So like, if you can't do a live, then what's the point in hosting one of those shows, right? But I would like to at some point do a physical one, and I've thought about the combining of, but they're very different aspects of my personality. And the meanings behind my paintings and stuff are generally not very pleasant. Whereas like the toys are like the sort of the fun part,
Sure.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But they're all. I initially for a while I had two separate websites for them. Now they're all on the same one. More for cost reasons than anything. But it's a very different client
Yeah.
base as well. It's
For sure.
yeah.
For sure. And I think that's where, I mean, I mean, you probably know in the scene too, man, there's a lot of people who do um, stuff just like yours, right? And then there's other people, I think Resin Blood would be a good example of someone
Yeah.
who makes, pieces, and then his artwork kind of lines up with the pieces. Yours are obviously very different. Camelbot Commanders is very different, but Camelbot Commander too, you see him keeping his very separate as well, even though he's incorporating the two. It's two different names, it's two different websites, it's two different everything. Do you think that's hard to, because we always talk about the toys being art, and when you tell somebody, hey, I do art, and you're talking about your gallery shows with your paintings that you do, and then you say, hey, I do another kind of art too, or is that a whole different conversation of like, oh, I also make toys? Because it's a different, I think when you start talking about that to people, their mind's going to go one way depending on how you describe it.
I'm very open about it. Like I don't care what people think. But like, yeah, you get one of like two reactions, either like utter confusion,
Yeah.
oh, and sort of like no real interest at all, or people that just have loads of questions. And yeah, it's a strange thing because the scene isn't very big here. Like for, I think Bliss is in the chat. He'll tell you it's very small in the UK. Like the scene here. It's growing a bit. Ironically, more back from where I left, where I come from in London. It's getting a bit bigger than it is where I now live. So that was bad timing for a move, but is what it is. Because that's when most of the, like when there are events, that's where they happen. But what I have started doing is, and mostly due to like Hack on the guy who runs the shop that I've got the dynamo figures in, like he was quite good at getting me to just go to like physical events that where it's predominantly for like vintage toys and things, because he was there too selling like, because he makes toys as well. And he was the first toy maker I ever met in person. And we started doing a few now where we both like we'll table out, and people are coming across and talking to us and things like that, and a lot of interest. And I usually sell like maybe one or two of my own, but you have to make sure you bring a lot of like vintage stuff. But I've also got two commissions out of that as well, where people have taken like my card, and you think nothing of it, and then like a couple of months later they come back. Like the commission I posted tonight was, I wanted to make sure that it was in the collection. They were happy before I posted pictures of it, but that was from that was somebody who came up and took my card at a toy show from November last year. So I'd forgotten I'd even given this guy a card. Do you know what I mean? And then
Oh wow.
and then he reached out. So it's getting there, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
And those are
but
nice, dude. There's a lot of work in those. Holy smokes.
oh man, yeah, the amount of sculpting that I definitely undercharged. Was insane. But it was also like really fun
Yeah.
to do. Like, but I don't own any of that toy line, so I was had to do like a lot of like looking up pictures, and then I checked with him like how the size. And then if you scroll to the very last picture, it's like the photo of the customer's toy collection with her in there. If you go, yeah, there, and it fits quite nicely. I think I did a good job, but like particularly on like the trousers and the color scheme and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was weird when like you don't own any of the figures as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was good fun. Like, so like commissions and online shows do tend to make you like think outside the box a little bit more, because it's not just, you're not making necessarily what you want to make. You're making like what is going to fit that theme, or what the client wants, or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's quite interesting.
Let's talk about your collection real quick, man. You mentioned a little while ago that you are a collector too. What is it that you're collecting? And are there anybody in our scene that you're collecting, or is it all vintage or a mix of everything?
It's a mix of both. I predominantly collect bootlegs. Because my toys as a child were bootlegs, so I predominantly do that. And it's mostly sort of like, and I've got a large like Motu Origins like collection, and a few of the re-releases of Playmates and stuff, like things that I just couldn't afford, because I like mine boxed. I like mine like, you know, like carded. I display them up on the wall. And then the rest are all, everything else is actually like art toys. So I've got stuff from, yeah, loads of people, you know, but Yuckamuck, I've got quite a few pieces from him. Pocket Salsa, Jimmy Folklore, Hack on Collectibles.
Did you say Hack on Collectibles is in Scotland?
Yeah, it is in Glasgow. Yeah, I mean he's actually
Nice.
Scottish, unlike me, but yeah, he's from here. Who else? Oh man, like loads of people. I feel bad. Dookie, I've got stuff from Dookie.
Oh yeah. Dude, he's had some bangers come out lately, man. I like that little the silver highlights that he's doing on some of those figures, man. That pink Vader that he dropped the other day. That was sick, man. Those are sharp looking.
Yeah, they're real nice. Yeah, I think like if you think of somebody, I've probably got something from them. Like, I don't have a collection like you. Like, I don't think anyone's got a collection like me. But yeah, I usually get like one or two pieces off of people. Like a lot of the times, like we'll trade, like toy makers will trade with each other. Like I've got quite a few Zimot and stuff where we'll do like back and forth. Me and Ocular Rhombus at one point decided like did a surprise kit bash for each other. So like there was free reign to do whatever you wanted. Nobody knew what the other person was going to send them. You know, stuff like that. It's fun.
Now, with collaborations and stuff like that, do you find it's difficult being in Scotland and everybody else mostly being predominantly in the US?
Yeah, so like with collaborations, I tend to, it's like one of two things. Like I will quite often end up being asked just to do like the artwork for it, or like the card back and stuff, because of things like that. So even within the UK, like when I did that one with Delicious Again Peter, it was like I did a hand painted card back for him and then just posted it to him. Because it does make it more difficult, let alone like overseas. Yeah.
Even for trades, I'm sure that kind of comes in too, man.
Yeah, it's not too bad with the trades though, because it's like, well, you're just swapping toys, right? So you pay your postage, they pay their postage. It's fine, but you do sort of have to make sure you're in a financial position to be able to do trades. Like, so there was a point where I was like doing a lot of them, and now I sort of stepped back from that for reasons, mainly my bank account. But yeah.
Speaking of shipping, dude, I mean, we brought that up probably a couple weeks ago, but you seem to be really adamant about pushing product in the States as far as having it available over here. Talk about kind of how that came up and how that works and how that benefits you at the end of the day.
I mean, it's always better if people buy from me direct. Like for my for profit and bank balance, not that there's much profit, because I don't really charge that much for my toys. But because most of my customer base is in America, it makes sense to me to try and get toys out there, right? So the first lot was with Cash Brand, and he's still got some. I can't remember how many's left, and I don't know if he's in the chat, but there's either 7 or 8 still left with him, but 5 of those are going to go to Toronto Toy Riot. So if anybody who's not in Canada and wants to get some of those, reach out to Cash Brand before he sends over the box, because I don't know what he's sending. Because before they're not with him anymore. And that came about mainly because of that show in Philly. I can't even remember what it was called now.
Oh, Assembly Required.
Yeah, that's the one. So that came up because of that. He was like he was umming and ahhing about whether or not to get a table, and then asked if there were anybody who would be interested in like putting stuff in it. And I said, yeah. And they were actually going to go to somebody. I'm not going to say who. But where they were going to go wanted a 60% cut. And I was like, I can't really, like, I'd have to put the prices up like so high to be able to do that. So he said, I'll keep them. I'm planning on doing more things. I was like, okay, great. So they stayed with him, and it's going all right. Like, I think, yeah, like 4 or 5 of them maybe have gone. And then I've got, for any David Lynch fans, I've got 5 one-offs of Eraserhead figures in the Clutter Gallery at the moment. That kind of came out of the blue, actually. Like, I just got an email from Clutter Gallery asking me to do a run of 10 figures for them, or 5 to 10 figures. And I was like, I'll do 5. I'm not doing 10. Because if none of these sell, like that, it's just a pain in the ass. So they're with them at the moment. So these are the ones that have all sold out, because they were the ones direct from me. But if you go to the Clutter Gallery website, you'll be able to see the others. But they've got, that's the ones. So yeah, so there's 5 with them. If anybody's interested, grab them, because I don't want to pay to have them shipped back. That would be really helpful for me.
100p, man.
So yeah, that would be nice. But yeah, that sort of came out of the blue. I was quite surprised when they reached out, because I don't really get approached for shows. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just not something that sort of happens for my toys and stuff. That doesn't. Yeah, it was a nice surprise to have, but yeah, it was a surprise.
Yeah,
I didn't even know I was on their radar, to be perfectly honest. So
there you go, man.
But I decided to do those because I didn't have like time to do a whole new sculpt and mold, and all the ones I'd made before sold. So I was like, well, I know it's something that people like.
Yeah.
So it made sort of sense to do a little run. But you know, I like all of mine to be one-offs. So each one is slightly different.
Nice.
Loving the large specs. The I don't even know what those are called, but like sequins.
Yeah, it's like chunky glitter essentially in that guy. Like really fat, like lumps of it. Like a couple of them have got nothing in, and then there's 3 with glitter or glitter-ish stuff. Just colourful chunks of things thrown in there.
It's kind of fucking fun, man.
Yeah. But that was like fun. Like, that was a toy that, it was one of those ones where I was just like, I wanted an eraser. It's my favorite film. I wanted to figure it. So I just sculpted one for myself one day, and then other people wanted it, so I made a mold and started casting it.
Ain't that the way?
Dude, where do you think you're at in your toy making journey? I'd say, man, are you still wanting to learn stuff, or where are you at with that? You've been doing it for a few years, and I'm always kind of curious, and that's a question I never really ask people is, like, are you happy with where you're at doing toys right now, or do you feel like you're kind of just getting started?
It's a strange one, because I think like you get to points where, like, when you first start making it, you're just excited to make plastic. Like, as stupid as that sounds, that you're just like, oh fuck me, what the fuck? Like this, like I poured in this shit and out came a bit of fucking rubber. And you're just like, you're mad excited by it. But then 6 months will go by, and you'll look back at that piece you were really happy with and think, "Oh, that's a piece of shit." Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it does change. Like, I really like the stuff I make now, but will I in a year's time? I don't know.
Yeah.
'Cause I think you do naturally like develop and change your styles and things. But I'm quite old fashioned. Like, I like to use my hands. So like I don't digital sculpt, I don't 3D print, and can't see myself. I've contemplated it a few times, but I just can't see myself ever doing it. Like, I like to sculpt by hand
Sure.
and then mold. So, the question that a lot of people always want to know is, like, are you going to end up doing like Sofubi and stuff? And like, I'd never rule it out, but I will always make resin because I always want to use my hands. Because like for me, like once I've handed it over and somebody else is making it, I'm not sure I get that much enjoyment out of that.
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
I like
That,
to, I like to get involved. Feel like I've actually physically made it.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Um, so yeah, vinyl, man. I don't know. Like, I have no clue what the vinyl scene is like over there. I have no clue what the resin scene is like over there. But the
The
vinyl,
resin scene doesn't exist here, like, to be
really,
brutally honest.
yeah,
No, Sofubi is popular, but only from like certain people. There are
sure,
big names out there
sure,
and stuff like that. But that is like, it is growing because you've got people now that are, like Craftsman, like oh fuck me, who's that other guy? Who's making it in his house as well. You've got these people that are making their own stuff vinyl at home now. I follow
Yeah.
loads of them, and like my
Like
brain's just
low tech.
gone. Yeah, low tech. But there's
yeah.
somebody
Low
else
tech is
as
good.
well.
Yeah, man. There's a
Deep
yeah,
fried
Rabbit.
there's some people
vinyl
out there
as
doing it.
well.
Yeah.
Mile High.
Yeah, Mile High, deep fried vinyl, low tech. Yeah, all those guys, and
Mm.
that appeals to me. I was like, because you're doing
Yeah.
it yourself, but I couldn't do that in my current setup. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I like resin. I like the process of it all. So I don't think I'll ever stop making resin toys. I might just get to a point where I enjoy painting them more, maybe. And
Yeah.
that'll change. But there's always things like you do learn because you come across problems constantly, I think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you want to work around that. Like, I think most of us, I like defects in toys. Like, I like toys when they look a little bit wrong and when things go a
Sure.
little bit strange, right? So that's why I'm into bootlegs. So I don't have that perfectionist thing,
Right.
but still, like, I like things to be a little bit janky.
Yeah.
Still don't want it to look like a piece of crap.
Yeah. No,
Like, I
I
still want
get it,
somebody to
man.
be happy with it at the other end, but like, but when it comes to like vinyl stuff, I think it all just looks a bit too clean for me. Like,
Yeah. Danemark's 152, man. You took my next question. Um, you did a collab with Delicious Again, Peter,
I
correct?
did, yeah.
Yeah. How'd that come about?
So he does this series every now and then, like a bomber artists like collection. Um, and I've been following him for a while. He wasn't following my toy account, but was following my art account.
Mm.
Uh, so I was like, "Oh, I'll do one if you want." And he just said yes. And I think he was thinking it was. I don't think he knew that LOH bootlegs existed
Oh,
until after he'd gone. Oh yeah, and he'd sent me one, and then I started tagging him from that account, like in stories. I don't think he even knew I made toys at that point, so that was quite funny.
mm.
But yeah, I don't know. That just came about because he did a call out, and I was like, "Fuck it." I'll ask if he wants me to get involved. Um, yeah, it was good fun. I'd like to do it again with him. Like, it was such an easy like collab. Like, I like the way he works. It was like everything straight down the middle. There's no like, well, I've done this and I've done this, therefore I'm taking this cut. It was like everything was like straight down the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he let you set your own price, which is why the prices were like varied wildly. So I just went with like, look, I'm literally just painting the backer. Like, whatever your lowest price point is, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of them were like insanely expensive. But then you've got like full-on graffiti artists doing like the back of it, and you can understand that. And to be
Yeah.
fair,
Well,
if
yeah.
I'd done an oil painting on the back of it, I'd have charged a lot more too. But I didn't spray painted it. So
Well, yeah, I was going to ask you about that earlier when we were talking about combining the two. I mean, there are people out there that, and that's what's the interesting thing, right, about carded pieces is sometimes it's more about the card, sometimes it's more about the
yeah,
piece. sometimes it's both.
Yeah.
But I thought that might be a direction that you might try.
I'm
It's
tempted by it. I'd be
yeah,
lying if it wasn't. Like I do, I've done a lot of painted car backs, but I've always used spray paint because I like to keep my price point at like 35, which is roughly
sure,
20 pounds, right? So I try to keep it at that point. And if I start introducing oil paints into that process, that price is like tripling, quadrupling.
for sure. Well,
So
and the time too, I'm sure
yeah,
is. I mean,
yeah.
it's a much larger commitment as far as time goes.
Yeah, so I think I'd be at this stage. I would probably only do that if I was commissioned to do it.
Sure.
Like if somebody asked me to do it, because to put all of that time and money into something like that, and then it just sits in a box would hurt. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised that well, I'm not surprised because it's your other art account has been around longer, but you
Yeah.
said Delicious Again Peter found you from that one. Do you find that there's a lot of crossover when people find out, like people that are following your art account and then they find out that you do toys? Do they usually end up following and vice versa?
Uh, no, not from the art to the toys. No, that's like rare.
Yeah,
He was like a rare example. But the other way, yeah,
toys to the art.
loads of people that look that oh yeah, that's the collaborative with the Discovery. Loads of
Yeah.
people that follow my toy account now follow my art account. Like
Isn't
quite.
that Isn't that I think that says a lot. I think that says a lot right there. Just as an industry kind of blanket statement is that you have a lot of people that that collect your art that aren't interested in your toys, but the people that
Yeah,
are
oh, yeah.
interested in the toys are interested in that. I heard the same thing about vinyl and resin collectors a long time ago, is that you'll see a lot of resin people collecting vinyl. You don't see a lot of vinyl people collecting resin, for whatever that is. But it's just one of those things, man. It's the same, but then it's also very different. But I think the highlight there is that the clientele can be extremely different, right? When you're talking
Oh,
about,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. They're worlds apart. Worlds
yeah,
apart.
yeah,
I mean, the chances of any of those people watching this is slim. So I can say they're generally
sure,
cunts. Like to be quite honest, it's pure snobbery in that world.
So
Whereas
in
on the toy side, like you end up having relationships not with all of them. Like there's quite a few people who bought me I've never even spoken to. I don't even know who they are because people's handles aren't always their actual name.
mm,
But like most of them I've had dialogue with and I speak to some of them quite regularly, like Ryan Lintner I speak to loads, you know what I mean? Like people like that.
I just talked to him like
Yeah,
right
like
before the show.
such a nice dude, right?
Yeah, straight up.
And he was like one of the first people to buy one of my toys, I think. Like, yeah.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
and I speak to him fairly regularly. That doesn't really happen in the art world, or at least not in my experience anyway. There's maybe one or two collectors that I have a relationship with,
Mm,
but that's mainly because they just want to know, like, before it gets posted, like they want a heads up on stuff. So I think that's the only
sure.
reason I was actually like keep in contact. Yeah, but it's a very different world. Yeah, sure.
so you
Yeah.
wouldn't like a show like tonight or tomorrow when you're gonna hang all your actual art. You're gonna tell me you're not gonna hang any little art pieces or like your art toys in between?
Absolutely
Just
not.
keep
No.
going.
Uh,
Missed.
I can't have like a 2.5 grand painting sitting next to a 35 pound toy. Like, I mean, I'd love to walk into somewhere like that, but do you know what I mean? It's like it's
Yeah.
Yeah, I think even that right there, it's almost like a comical commentary, right? Where it's just like having the two side by side. It's just like I'd be scratching my head if I went into a gallery like that. I'd be like, the
can
fuck?
you imagine like
Yeah.
walking in, see that see that painting there, right?
Yeah.
That one. You
For
imagine like, walking into a gallery, you see that, and then right next to it, there's this. Like, you just be like,
I,
what the fuck?
you could pull the banana, just have a thing of duct tape across the action figure, stick that to the wall beside it. Fucking A.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, it just wouldn't work. I think the closest way is probably B suggestion of like actually oil painting the back of cards. Like maybe that would be the gateway. But yeah, it's different worlds. It's very,
Secretly,
very
from now on, in the back of the paintings on the canvas, you just hide a little action figure, just glue them onto the fucking. they'll never
Yeah.
know, man. Just hanging up, they buy it, they bring it home, and they're like, "The fuck is this?"
Yeah, it's Victorious Glory says my kind of gallery. I agree. That's and I think for a lot of us, that's the way that the gallery would look if we had a
If I
choice
had my
for
if I had
yeah.
my own, that's exactly what I would do.
For sure. It's just a hard sell. You're right, man. I mean, when you get those two groups in a room that are like kind of hardcore collectors of each scene, you start to really kind of see the differences of like, oh yeah, this is it's all art, right? But it's definitely its own thing. Speaking of that, Dane Mark said, I like shitty toys. So we were talking about kind of the aesthetic of toys. And I've talked about that before too, man. And I always talk about like the Motu, the bagged up Motu pairs from Mexico, and right, and those things they look so bad. But they look so good. I have one from Plastico Suavecito that we're gonna look at tonight. Like, check this thing out, dude. It's like it's so bad, it's so good.
I
You know
fucking
what I
knew that's
mean?
what you had.
Yeah. I love those like old blow models that you get from Mexico as well. Like they're incredible.
Yeah, and I mean it's thin stock, it's stapled to that. You know what I mean? With like a regular old stapler. But I mean, if you look at his, that's the thing, dude. It's like I think there's a fine line of saying like, "Wow, man, that looks really cool," and it just looks horrible, or
Yeah, there
horrible
is.
to
There's a
some people.
balance. Yeah.
And then there's other ones where you're just like, "No, that's just bad," all the way around. It looks like they tried to do something that didn't go right. But this
Yeah.
actually has that kind of bootleg aesthetic. You mentioned that you kind of grew up collecting bootlegs. What expand on that a little bit? What was going on there?
We were poor as fuck. That's basically what it comes from. Yeah. So,
Okay,
single parent,
sure.
family, 4 kids, off benefits, disabled mother. Do you know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, all our toys were bootlegs, knockoffs, or toys that I stole. But yeah, so like nothing with like, yeah.
And where were they coming from though? Were they bootlegs from England, or were they from somewhere
Um,
else?
well, they were all bought in like in England and stuff, but like yeah,
Okay.
but they all like had like made in China or made in Taiwan. If they had anything at all on them, like some of them just had nothing. And I wouldn't know unless they were in front of me, but I would imagine like a large portion of them were probably things like Chat May. Do you know what I mean? Like they make some sick toys.
They do, dude.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe. And I was actually gonna bug you earlier, like what was like the go-to booty that you had as a kid, if you could like recollect any line or anything. But I think Chat May for a lot of you guys over in like the UK, that's a big fucking sick line, and they're
Yeah, they
underrated. Some
really.
of those pirate figures.
Uh, Another toy line which I don't know if you get over there, maybe you do. Is Bluebird toys. Did you ever get those in the States? They make some really cool toys, or
What were
did.
they?
Bluebird toys, they're called.
Bluebird.
Yeah, they were generally smaller in scale, but they made some really, really like cool figures. They had this like they had this game one as well, which I never worked out how to play as a kid, but like I'd sort of forgotten it all existed until Splendid Edition started like buying them again recently. But like you'd have these like warrior figures, and the sculpts were incredible, and they were like on top of this plinth that had like loads of skulls, and you were meant to like play a game with them. But me and my brother had loads of them because they were like 50p at the time. They're like about 45 now if you want one like on card, but they were like really, really cheap. But the sculpts are incredible on them. Yeah, Bluebird makes some good toys as well. I can't remember who else, but like the toy I would want the most, I don't even know who made it. And I've never seen it since. It was a bootleg Ninja Turtle because they were like the thing I loved the most. But it looked more like a fucking crocodile or an alligator or something. It was like really bad, like really, really bad. But I loved it so much, like
Yeah,
because
that
it
sounds
was
super cool.
my first like turtle toy, even though it didn't even look like a turtle. They hadn't even
Yeah.
bothered to like paint any of it. It was just solid green, which is I think part of the reason why a lot of the times I do my toys in just big bright colors and stuff. And when I buy vinyl, I always buy a blank. Like I like that aesthetic. And I think it all comes back because they were the kids they were the toys I had as a kid. Like that they look like that. Yeah, love bootlegs.
Manta
Yeah.
Force, Bliss Receptor says.
Yeah, Man of Force was good. What's that other one with which you definitely have in the States with like the magnets on their feet? Starcon. Starcon was great.
Starcom. Mm.
So they were like this big, and they had like magnets on their feet, and all of the like vehicles and stuff moved, but without you didn't need any batteries or anything. They were really cool toilet.
How old are those?
80s, like yeah, 80s. I was born in 81, so they'd be in the mid 80s.
Oh, mid 80s. And they were using magnetic articulation.
No, just magnets on the bottom of the boots.
Oh, bottom of the boots.
Mm.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
okay.
They were. It was like a space toy line. I only found out like last year that there was a cartoon. I didn't even know that a cartoon existed of it. Starcon was great, but that was definitely an American toy line. But for some reason, that was everywhere in the UK and like really cheap.
Interesting.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah.
I love the scale of those little figures, man. Curious Customs makes dudes at that size as well. There's just something really fun about like little guys. I don't know why.
I think that's when I was younger, man, one of the very few lines that I had like a decent amount of figures from was Mask. And Mask was always
yeah, I loved Mask.
Yeah, they were. I don't know what the actual scale was, man. Definitely smaller than 3.75.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, but those were cool, man. Micro Man used magnetic articulation in the mid 70s. Bliss receptor with the fucking Grand Slam. Woo! Mark it down, baby. I didn't know that, but I believe you, Bliss Receptor. Bliss Receptor's got an absolutely amazing collection of the chromed out figures, the ones that have like the what do you call that process?
The vacuum
forming.
Yeah, no,
There you go.
something
Yep.
like that. Yeah, I know what you mean. Is
Metal vac.
Yeah,
Metal vac. Yeah.
Are you talking about the
Back was in there somewhere.
the toy line? Are you talking about the Star something or whatever? What's it called? It's white. Tell it's 3 AM. I can't even think of words.
Dude. So what's your plan, man? So you had your gallery show is actually today. So it's
Today,
it's, what, 3 o'clock in the morning over there right now. And
Yeah.
your gallery show is at what time?
So, I've got a setup. So the art mover will come in about 5 hours to pick me up, take over. Then I'll install, and then the preview is at 6 PM. But by the time I finish installing, that'll be like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's right at the other side, so I'm not sure if I'll have time to come back or not. Probably not. So yeah, I might try and get like 2 hours kip in the back of the gallery or something, like if I can. But probably by that point, I probably won't be able to sleep, you know. So
yeah, no kidding, man. So how many gallery shows have you done? This isn't your first one, is it?
Oh no, I've been doing it for years. I used to do about 4 a year, but then now it's like one solo show a year and then the rest of group shows, just because it's so expensive. Because you sort of like rent the space, then if you sell something, you have to give commission to the gallery and all that sort of stuff. So it's very, very pricey. But I'm in a few group shows as well. I'm in one in Lithuania at the moment, and one in London as well, where I've just got like one piece in each. But this one's a solo show, and it will be from today until the Monday.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's a busy schedule, my man.
Yeah. But it's
So how are you feeling about the gallery show today, man? I mean, are you looking? I mean, I know you're tired, obviously, but you're excited about it. You're expecting a big turnout.
I don't know what to expect. So it's the last solo show I did here, I didn't do a preview night because I wasn't sure, like, if I'm in. There are certain cities I'll do them because I know I'll pack it out. But I've only lived here for just coming up to 4 years. I still don't know. People don't really know who I am yet. Let's put it that way. So it's like starting set. So I wasn't going to do one, then I got talked into it. So I don't really know what the turnout will be tonight. So I'm not so much looking forward to that. The rest of it I am. The rest of the run I am, because it's in a good location, and I think the footfall will be pretty good. But my preference is, thanks, Doc. My preference is mainly to not have to be there myself. If I'm really, like, I like to just ship my work to somebody, let them deal with it all, and then collect it at the end. But for cost reasons, I'm sort of self-invigilating, so I will be there throughout the whole thing. There are pluses and minuses to that. slightly, it's cheaper. You're more likely to sell actually if you're there yourself because you can actually answer people's questions. And it doesn't really have any real interest in doing that for you. But the negative means that I have to, talk to art wankers all day. So
You're gonna be all suited up.
fuck no, no.
Fuck no.
No.
Oh man. As far as toys go, man, what's your next goal as far as toy making goes, man? Do you have one?
So not necessarily goals. I've got a long list of things I want to make. I actually have a pile of sculpts waiting to be molded and cast in the studio, but I'm just trying to. What my goal, I think, at the moment is actually to try and break even rather than keep. I can't keep running at a loss. So yeah, I think that's probably the most immediate goal, which isn't exactly an exciting one. But there's a long list of things that I want to make. Loads of books and films and stuff like that that I want to make figures of. But yeah, I don't know if there's any like main aim beyond that. Like I don't ever see this as. I'm not somebody who's like naive enough to think that this is going to be a career for me.
Sure,
But
sure.
it's something that I want to keep doing. But I just need to be more careful about how I do that and actually at least cover the cost that it makes me to do, which I haven't done at all since I started making toys. But I can't sustain that at all. I can't sustain that any longer. So now
No.
it does have to sort of fund itself. So that's my aim at the moment.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, man, for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, I could see that. I mean, piled on with everything else that you're doing, but I mean, kind of getting to that point. How do you feel about that? I mean, I mean, obviously it's got to pay for itself at some point for you to keep going, or
Yeah.
it's really just more of a hobby.
Yeah.
Now that you're kind of at that point, do you think that has decreased your motivation at all, or done the exact opposite?
No,
Um,
yeah, it hasn't. There were twice I've nearly given up, like completely stopped, because of financial reasons and stuff like that. But I enjoy it too much to do that. I think it's just maybe have to rework, which is hard for me because like I just want to keep making. It's hard for me to not be creating stuff, and particularly like from most of my life, like painting, which is a slow, like long process. So being able to do something that's so fast in comparison, um,
mm,
means I can get carried away. And so yeah, it's just reining myself in a little bit, I think. Um, so that's the hard thing is actually going to be not making as much stuff. But what I am doing is almost preparing stuff. So I'm still doing the sculpting and getting stuff ready so that when I have got to that point financially where I can put some more money into it and my stock's gone down a little bit, then I can then buy the silicone, make the molds, buy the resin, do the casting. So
sure.
I'll almost sort of be like ahead of myself. So I'll be ready to go once I get to that point. But at the moment there's like over 150 toys in my store. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
Oh, wow.
I need to get that balance down because I go all in when I like get excited, Uh,
Yeah, yeah. And you mentioned that your paintings are kind of done under a different tone,
yeah.
and they come from a different place, inside you. Do you think getting carried away on toys, do you see that as a little bit of a just such a break from the painting that when you go in, you want to go in hard and just kind of stay there, and next thing you know, you got 150 toys in your shop?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, thankfully my shop's not at like Zimot levels, but I think if I had his like, but the thing is, I think if I had the space, it like in my shop, it probably would be. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like it is like I'm not going to get deep, but
Yeah,
like the toy stuff is that like it's a different type of escapism. Like
right.
it is nice, yeah, and it is a good breather because my day job too is quite intense. So I basically deal with people with physical and mental health issues all day. So yeah, the toys are quite a good release from that too. Like a nice fun thing.
Yeah. So even if, I mean, now thinking of it like that, and I don't mean to just keep on questioning you, man. I'm just curious because
So I
I don't want.
expected it's an interview. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think you have a really unique perspective on a bunch of different on a bunch of different things. But now that you're kind of at the point of knowing that you want to at least try to break even on these things, but then on the flip side, also seen as I mean, it sounds like the toy making is almost a little bit of a form of a therapy and a little bit of
Yeah,
escape
yeah.
for you. If you could make, if you knew that you wouldn't sell one more toy, would you keep doing it just as a form of like money out the window? Just say, hey man, I need to relax for a while. Um,
I think if it got to that stage, I would only do shows. Yeah, so
gotcha.
I'd be making like 3 or 4 toys a year. Yeah, so no, I wouldn't. There's no way I would. I just couldn't sustain it. I'm not in that. And unless I had the money to be able to, then I probably would. Then I wouldn't really care. But no,
Yeah.
I would. If I thought I'm never going to sell anything else, like then no, I would have to stop. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah,
Well,
that's a fair answer, man. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think everybody's kind of in that same boat, right? How do you do it if you can't do it? It would just be irresponsible.
Yeah. I don't. I'm hopefully it will never get to that stage. But I mean, I don't shift loads, to be fair, and I do need to like up that. But I do sell stuff, like there's probably somebody in the chat who's got some of my toys in there. Do you know what I mean? I guess it's like stuff does go. It just takes a while sometimes, I think, and most of that is down to like shipping, really. Like to be brutally honest, but it's such a boring subject. But that's why I do like the flat rate or free if you spend enough, and things
Sure.
like that. So it all works out as like a discount because ideally, I'd actually be charging more for my toys than I do, but I'm conscious of what the shipping costs. So it's like,
Right.
because
Right.
like I will often make only like 1 or 2 of a certain toy, right, quite often, which means that even if I sell both, I might have only just broken even on
Yeah.
it's costing me silicone and epoxy sculpt and all of that stuff.
Mm.
So yeah, but I don't want to be one of those guys who charges 200 quid for a toy. I just
Yeah.
be one of those guys.
Yeah, and that's looking at your pieces at Clutter. I mean, I know that Clutter, and those are higher end for you, right? Because you said your other pieces are, probably less than half of what those are.
So
But
if you'd So usually it's about $50. I think it works out to from like American dollars, like from Great British pounds to that for something off me. But then if you add it in postage, it'll probably be closer to like $70. So it's not that much of a markup. It's like a $10 mark. So I'm still earning less
that's
if they
true.
sell than I would if they came from me direct. But it's enough for me to be able to get it through. But yeah, so it's not too much of a markup, but yeah, they do take a fairly sizable cut.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've heard about Clutter. How much is a quid? That's a good question.
As a pound, 1 Great British pound, which used to be about $2, but it's now probably like $1.10 or something. But yeah,
Oh,
uh,
gotcha.
it's
Okay.
probably still about $5 Canadian though, because Canadian dollars,
Yeah.
Canadian money is worth nothing. But yeah,
Oh man.
there's not that much of it. So I know that £35 or 35 quid is basically $50. So work out from that. I know that roughly works out to that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that's why I try to keep my price point at, unless it's a 5.5, then they're £50, which is I think $70, which I still think is pretty reasonable for a 5.5 figure, to be perfectly honest. But
Oh yeah. It's 70 for a 5.5.
yeah, so
Yeah.
£50 is $70. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure, man. I would say 70 for a 5.5. That's probably even on the closer to the lower end, you know?
Yeah, well, I want to keep it. I want to keep it affordable for people. But
Yeah.
I'll use those molds more than I use like a smaller mold, so like I can sort of afford to keep it, because I'll make like 5 instead of like 2 if I do that. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. No, Clutter's not 60%. It's 60/40. It's 50/50, which is still high.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's significant.
There is one individual who takes 60, but I'm not going to out them because I actually like them. They're a nice guy, but I know their reasons behind it. It's just I can't afford to sell through them. But
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But yeah, class 50-50. Or at least it was for me. So sorry if anybody else has been quoted 60-40.
No, I think you're right. I think that's exactly what I've heard. Dude, we are at an hour already, man. I desperately want you to get some sleep before you venture out into the world, dude. You have a long day ahead of you, man.
Yeah, I do. Okay. All right. I was initially going to do a giveaway, but I'm not because I can't afford to because of the gallery costs. But what I will do is if anybody orders anything in the next 24 hours, just to give people who watch on the replay some time, from my store, not from the others, but also please buy from the others. But if you order from my store, I will put in an extra toy. And I don't mean like the little extras we always give. I mean like a full-on extra figure for
Damn.
any order that's placed within the next 24 hours.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's a good one, man.
Right? We almost need to cut down just all the different meme dams that are out there.
Yeah. 2 for 1 on LRH, man. Get into the shop and check that out. Link in the um, Instagram bio. Jeez
Yep.
Louise, I could not think of the word Instagram there for a minute. Holy shit. Is there anything else you want to say before we get you out of here, my man?
No, I don't think so. Just buy my shit. Fuck faces.
Fucking love it. Fucking love it. What a fucking guy, dude. Absolutely. Dude, a 2 for 1. I don't know if I've ever heard of a fucking 2 for 1, but
Well,
if you're
and
interested in
you're
some of
calling
Leon's stuff, hit him up.
you're calling it a 2 for 1, but it's potentially even just like maybe get 3, maybe get 4, maybe get 5.
Oh,
Get as
yeah.
many figures as
Yeah.
you want. Just so you know as well, guys, like LRH has quite a few of these little top pinned parts here. So, like for instance, they've got blind boxes, limited numbers available for frequently asked questions, including like do you take commissions, trades, items out of stock, probably shipping. But yeah, always trying to make sure they can get some stuff out into your hands. They've got quite the portfolio of work as well, man.
Yeah, dude. And it's always, I mean, after we talk to people and we kind of find out like what they're doing and the story behind it, dude, it makes it add so much more to just kind of the artist and your perception of them. That dude's got a lot going on, man. Super talented dude, and it's just he's another one of these guys. I mean, he's doing out there doing gallery shows with his paintings. That's fucking wild, man.
Here I was picturing like we were gonna have some kind of like a Woody Allen looking dude come on, big thick rimmed glasses and all. Nah, tats, beer, flat back.
The thing that I really liked about that talk was he was very honest and very real about, cost. And if I'm not breaking even, then I don't want to do it anymore. And he said straight up, like, if I wasn't going to sell toys, then I'd probably do, 3 shows a year and then just do those. And I know there's people out there that would, they would have the exact opposite answer of that and say, I don't care if I sell it or not. It's for me and I made it. And that's a great point of view to have too, man. But it's just, you know it, his story, I don't think it's not something that we really get into a lot on the show as far as like the struggles and the money issues and stuff like that, dude. That's like real shit, man. And that's
Oh,
honestly what drives a lot of people away from it.
I think we could have spent a whole other episode just peeling back layers there. Let's be real,
Straight
man.
up.
And
Yeah.
I dream of a world, and I'm sure Dub would say the same. Like, it's unfortunate, and depending on your perspective, and it's like but in a dream world we live in, you'd go to a gallery, and it would be these like ginormous paintings, and there'd be this little tiny fucking 3.75 or a 5.5 attached somewhere on this huge piece, and it could still be 2K. Like it wouldn't devalue the art that there's a toy there. And it is kind of a shame to think of a world where it's kind of just like, the toy is 35, the oil painting. Not that I'm shitting on either one. Like anybody who's painted in oils, it takes fucking hours, days, fucking weeks for that to dry. It takes 64 years, I think, to be considered completely dry for an oil painting. But it's like, yeah, imagine having a little toy piece just attached to it in like the bottom corner or dead center of a piece or up in the left. Like, fuck, man, makes me almost want to start going around to like buildings and just super gluing little blisters and a toy on there.
Yeah.
Fucking, that's the backer now.
Yeah, right.
Well, best of
Um,
luck. I hope they sell a bunch of like. I know that's not what a gallery exhibition is about, but I do hope they sell a lot of pieces there too. I hope they get some fucking lawyers and dentists coming through, going, "Fuck, I need this in my waiting room, or I need this in my home, or I need this in my study," and hope they buy some nice paintings.
and you know what, dude? I think when that happens, I honestly think, man, that is going to be what starts the avalanche is when somebody huge gets this in their house and posts it, and then people start looking a little bit deeper. You know, maybe that's the real jumping point of like, wow, this is like a fucking mainstream thing now. Which, I don't know, man. And the other thing that's interesting about talking to him that kind of goes into that too is, you can really start blurring the lines between doing this as a form of making money or as a hobby, or is it a little bit of both? Well, it's something that I like to do. Well, I'd love to get paid for it. Well, now I'm getting paid for it, but now I'm being pushed to do it, and that's kind of taking some of the fun out of it. So there's like this whole fucking like jambalaya of shit, that goes into it. Like we all appreciate the final product, but like the steps and the journey it takes to get to that product, and like your your kind of whole frame of mind of what that is, and that's why I was asking him, like, do you feel like, hey, I make toys and this is it, or do you feel like, hey, I'm just getting started and I do want to make a rainbow yawn quality piece one time. I mean, that's a hell of a fucking place to start, right? When he said I saw some rainbow yawn pieces and started making 5.5s, I was like, holy fuck, man, what an uphill climb that is. Because you're looking at someone who has like literally mastered the process. uh,
Some people are lucky and they get it. It clicks. Yeah, like that's just how
yeah,
it. Like, and I'm not saying that for the other homies it doesn't. I'm just saying that there's a difference. We've seen it. Jebbaho, what's the other one there? Alhemo, um,
yeah,
Frankenlander.
yeah.
They're just different. They're Snowbro even. They're just different. And that's no disrespect because we love it all, but there's something about those ones. Those are on different. There's something different to it.
Yeah. Yeah, straight up, man. And it's, the cool thing is though, is that he made it and he said that he'll never do those again. But the point is that he did make it. You know what I mean? Maybe it definitely wasn't like a rainbow yawn type piece, but it was a 5.5 figure that he, casted, molded. He's doing some sculpting. I like his the pour work that he's doing, and where he's kind of, I like the fact that he refuses to paint figures. I don't think he
Well,
refuses to do it, but he definitely keeps that separate, you know?
tries to keep the resin poured for themselves. I'll say too that, and this is one of those weird situations. You don't think too much about it, but their work popped better this evening than I think it does on their IG page. And I don't mean that with any disrespect whatsoever, but a couple of those figures that they were showing, I wouldn't have known they were translucent resin for one. So now you're seeing a little bit more of those gradients. You're seeing a little bit more of those colors pop. And then the ones that we're painting, like when we saw those turtles, when you scroll through, you do see that there's a pack of the 4 pack of the turtles. But there was something about seeing them in those little baggies with the headers and a little bit of paint, and those things were popping in the bag,
Dude,
man. So I don't even know what it was about that all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, yeah, like, what are those? We both were like, damn. And then you go up to their page, you're like, yeah, okay, you posted this when you shared your turtle pieces. So how did it just go right over my freaking head? I don't know, man.
those were nice looking pieces, dude, especially the glow ones that he had. When I brought those up, I was like, whoa, shit, time out. What was that? But like a nice bag, little set of four in the same bag. That was sharp, man. I like
It
that.
was real sharp. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got a pile of goodies over there. You want to start showing off some of the fat cats you got there?
I will. I will. I'm going to show these two real quick because I just got these in, but I didn't advertise them or anything, and I didn't have them last week when Healy was here. But these are, I think I did show two Healy made Hellbent prototypes last week. Um, and here are two more Healy made Hellbent prototypes.
Okay, now I gotta ask, did you have them last week too, or they were in the mail on their way to you last
These
week?
were on the mail. These were in the mail on the way to me. I actually just got these yesterday. But this is one. This is a colorway that didn't go. And that's a prototype of the Hellbent one. I wish they would have made that one because that's looking fucking way fresh. But I mean, you want to talk about
I,
looking fresh, man? I,
okay, how are these out in circulation? Where are these coming from?
they're
Did you
not.
grab these from Healy?
I did not. I did not.
Fuck everybody.
Check this one out, bro. How do you fucking make this? How do you put this in front of somebody and they go, pass? You know, how the fuck do you put that in front of somebody and they go, I don't know. I don't really like it.
Yeah, like I'm assuming that's glow in the dark, right?
Yes, sir. But that's
Yeah,
fresh, dude.
you
That
know, the both the Hellbent and the Phantom Star Killer with Super Bootleg, like they're just such an interesting point in toy history, pop culture, all that jazz.
yeah. Oh, I agree.
Wow.
Bliss Swept said they should make both. I agree, dude. Um,
Well,
reaction prototypes do pop
there you
up
go.
online from time to time. I didn't know that. That's not where these ones came from, but that's good knowledge, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Um,
right. There's a secret Brian's club, and all the Bryans are exchanging them. Isn't that what's happening?
the shirt is not Jim Mafood, but dude, good call on Jim Mafood. Wookie Hash Pipe. There's a shout out to Jim Mafood right there. This is actually Monster Bloodbath
I
from
think
Philly.
I think every single time you wear that shirt, we all end up somebody says something because it's just so fat, dude.
It's a dope one, dude. It says no guts, no glory. No, I'm sorry, no guts, all glory. I'm sorry, no glory, all guts. All right. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I picked this up at Assembly Required, I think in Asheville, maybe last year, the year before, or something like that. But yeah, dude, Monster Bloodbath. That's another guy that does, I don't know if he does resin, but I know he does vinyl, prints, shirts, sculpting. He does a lot of stuff. But that's old Pete, cousin Pete, man, Pete Johnson. That's who that is. Um,
Cousin Pete.
we just have the same last name. Anybody who has my same last name, they're like a cousin or an uncle or
Oh
something
my
like
gosh,
that.
too funny, my dude.
Dude, I got a fucking Uncle Ray at work, and I don't know where Ray's from. Ray's a fucking cool guy. He's an electrician. Anyways, let's take a look at a couple more, dude. Speaking of, so I think I know what I'm doing with the vinyl collection here, man. I think I'm gonna try to, since the vinyl world is just stupid big. I think I'm gonna try to, not that I'm not gonna collect anything else from any place else, but I'm really gonna try to focus on vinyl from the States, just because there's a lot of it here, a lot that I don't know about.
Yeah,
It
I
seems to
think
be,
that's a beautiful direction to push it in, man. If you're
yeah,
if you're gonna have to pick a path, that's a sick. I like that. Sorry, I like
yeah,
that.
yeah, dude. And thank you. The artists from there are super, super fucking cool. Everybody that I've met or that I know of so far is just, I mean, they're awesome people. This one right here, man, is from, this is a paint app by Decay Toys. But the figure is a dead ringer from Weeping Warlock. And Weeping Warlock is from Virginia. Decay Toys. Boom.
That was a new one for me. That is sick, dude.
Yeah, and Decay Toys is from here in the States as well.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, dude, this is badass. So this is the Dead Ringer from and this was hand sculpted by Weeping Warlock. They've done a few different drops of these. There are some in um I believe it's in either Decay. I think it might be in Decay Toys. There's some of these in a different colorway. Um, but yeah, dude, super sick. Love this one. Dead Ringer. Look at that double face, man. Sick.
I love how it's just got like a metallic green, almost like airbrushing on there. Not sure if that
Yeah.
was like a white and black vinyl pull. fucking dirty red. That reminds me of honestly something that Pocket Salsa would draw up, dude.
Yeah, straight up, man. And this was actually pulled by Mile High in Colorado. So everything done here in the States.
That's what's
Um,
up.
yeah, cool ass piece, man. Decay Toys, he's been painting a lot of vinyl too. So I think he's got a drop coming out this weekend or within the next week or so. Make sure that you follow him and check out his page. He's got a lot of pieces on there that he's painted. There's some pieces in there that I don't normally see available. There are a lot of other vinyl pieces. There's a few pieces from like Sika Luna. That's one that I don't really see out there very much, but there's a few pieces of theirs. And there's some Bobaki coffins in there. There's some Ray Gun Wizard in there. Some really, really nice work, man. That's Decay Toys. So check that out. And then the Dead Ringer was sculpted and made by Weeping Warlock. So also check him out. That's another great vinyl account.
Dead Ringer is a dead ringer.
Dead Ringer's a Dead Ringer, man, and he's got a couple new figures coming out. It looks like there was a break in his profile for a while, but he's got a couple new figures coming out very soon. It looks like so. Super sick, yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like that was a new one for me. As soon as you pulled that up, now I'm, of course, doing the old dig. Should I have had it ready beforehand? Yes.
Weeping Warlock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Weeping Warlock, I actually scrolled back to the beginning of their account and they had a different name for a little while, and then they changed it to Weeping Warlock within the last couple of years. But there was, I believe, one figure released under the original name, maybe a couple pieces, but still, yes, dude. So that one on the left right there, that's a one-off. That one's still available in the shop. I want to say it's right around $70, which for a one-off painted, is really cool. I dig those blanks right there on the right. Those are sick.
Yeah, even these, like November 25th, 2025. It's like, damn, dude.
Those are nice, man.
We've been sleeping.
That one in the middle, right below, those are the two new ones that are coming out.
Yeah, right. Rabbit Giant Safubi. If anybody gets a chance, they've got some really good how they do it videos on their page as well. They're going to be doing the Titty Bean vinyl.
Nice.
Sorry, dude. Lost.
Yeah, but look at those two. Look at those two sculpts right there at the bottom, dude. Those are fucking fantastic.
Oh, look how good that row looks just lined up.
Bro, so those right there are in his shop, and I believe there's still at least one available because you can still add it to your cart.
There you go.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, you know what? I think we've seen this for
that
sure.
That was under the different name. So that post that you saw right after this, isn't that great, dude? Look at that shit.
Yeah.
But the post right after that with that Weeping Warlock, that's where he started the Weeping Warlock right there with that green logo. The one that we just looked at was under the previous name. I can't remember exactly what that was. I think it started with an S.
Yeah. So fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, damn it. Oh, damn it. Anyways.
Yeah, it's a Grody Shogun piece on the top left there.
Nice. I feel like we were kind of sleeping on this. Like, I knew it was coming up, but then when I saw the post come out this past week and it was saying that it was going to be April 5th, I was like, where have we been? Why were we not?
Well, no, that's how everybody does it now. It's like you get like 1 week and say, hey, next weekend we're coming for you. And I think we knew that it was going to be around this time, but I mean, typically that's how. I mean, the last couple of shows have been like that, where it's like I mean, I'm sure the artists know, obviously, but it's usually not announced, for a week or two before the show. Which,
look at that fucking artist list.
Yeah, dude, that show is always. Are we on number 3 now or number 2?
Number 3.
Number 3. That has been a great show, dude. The last 2 times. There's been some sick ass pieces out there, just like Leon said, dude. I mean, fucking robots, right? Like, get out of town, man. You can just run wild with that.
Robots all day. Also, I thought this was just an interesting little thing going on. It's going to be a toy maker boot camp. Now, where was this happening? April. Boom, 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 boom. Art of Pablo Pera, but where are they doing this? Why am I so freaking brain dead? Anyways, looks like it's going to be over in Berlin.
Oh, Berlin. There you go.
The second one. where they do a full, like from sculpt to molding to casting, and on the extra day if you want, you can even do April 20th, where they're going to be doing a paint. Yeah, Bus Receptor, Germany, it seems. But I mean, Berlin is big. That's why I was looking for a little bit more than just Berlin, you know. But I'm sure if we did a full little dive on Pablo Pera page, we'd find more. Now the 2 Up show, Cajun Cave, coming up. It's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be
Yeah.
happening on May 14th. Sorry, were you gonna say something?
No, I was looking at the comments real quick. Yeah, both of those are going to be great, dude. Robot Resurrection and 2 Up. 2 Up's always, I mean, the 1 Up was fucking fantastic. This one's going to be great. But I mean, what a great format, dude. We got robots and video games. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ.
How do you miss? Now with Easter around the corner, I thought this was a fun one. Nick Nightmares doesn't sleep, man. Doing the custom requested order for these chocolate swirl bionic bunnies. If I had to guess, they're going to be in the battle beast size.
Yeah, they look like it, man, especially with those legs and stuff. Nick Nightmare, man, he was at Assembly Required in Philly, and I didn't get over to his table, man. And it's one of those ones, there's a couple tables that I didn't get to. And then when you leave, you're just like, God damn it, dude, how did I not go by there?
I feel like he posts like 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh, dude, he's like you said, he's a machine nonstop. Which going back to what Leon said is, you know, uh, do you have time for it or do you not have time for it? Well, it kind of depends on, if that's your source of income, you better make time for it.
Well, sometimes I think it's just addicting.
It,
Or
especially when
something
you got
pulled
skills
out.
like that, dude, and everything that you touch turns to fucking gold. That's a huge plus too. Mm.
Speaking of everything you touch turn into gold, and fucking Shop Drop Live bootleg Toyco on these cold burns. Burnin' Rat Boy Blue.
Nice.
What else we got? Look, what else we got in the old tabbies? Mux Blank. I don't know if you saw these little Muck Blanks, but fuck, dude, so simple, so fun.
Mr. Blanks, blanks, blank, blank,
Right?
blank. Nice.
Like I said, simple but fun. So these are
Interesting.
Muck
Yeah.
Blanks.
Yeah.
Dirty Yetis actually got this one of one. If I'm not mistaken, it's gonna be a Maggitarius. Yeah, Maggitarius collab.
Correct. Yeah.
It's gorgeous, man.
Nice.
Everybody should know Dirty Yeti is just filthy with the paint apps.
Straight
Plastic Geek, dude. This collab with Scum Pit Toys was just fucking ranch.
Yeah, I like that, dude.
Even that's actually fucking jokes, dude. The glow in the dark beads. Didn't even catch that till right now.
Yeah. Cool,
yeah, nice
man.
little
Like
fucking
those.
Friday, 8 p.m. CST. Those are gonna be dropping. Toys doing a studio clean. Now, if anybody's been following Toys for a while, you know that they typically sell out pretty fast. So the fact that they're gonna be moving soon, need to clean out the studio. They're selling some blanks, odds and ends from 15 plus years of making toys.
Bam. Those sales are always fun, dude, when people are just like, I don't know, I got this stuff. And it's funny to see as a collector how, sometimes artists clean stuff out and they're just like, yeah, I've had this just sitting around for a while. I don't know what to do with it. And it's like, damn, dude, I would have bought that like 10 years ago.
Waiting for him to drop.
Yeah.
Quavo Vadis. There we go. Jeez Louise. This little collab they ended up doing with Chance Priest. Gonna be on Brazil vinyl, hand painted by Quovadis, Scare Glow colorway.
Dude, that is dope. Did you say that's vinyl?
Yeah, Brazilian vinyl.
Wow. Yeah, Brazil, man. There's several people that were getting their stuff out of Brazil.
Totally different plastics. We're gonna be talking about
plastic, dude. Yeah.
Collabs of tattoos and cheap resin toys. This is Adamant Toys Gumball Machine Resin Toys. He's got this all set up actually at the Spirit Tattooing San Diego. So inside of here are actually a whole bunch of little resin casts they've done of 25-cent toys.
Nice.
I thought that was smart, man.
Yeah. Test your luck.
Hand painted little toy signs on there as well.
Nice.
What else we got? Biomasters ended up dropping this. So O'Neill Designs, they're responsible for a lot of the Glio stuff. They ended up doing this little 2-piece drop. I couldn't help it. I had to pull those up. And also, every now and then we look at the Glio stuff. Biomasters, man, in general, fun as fuck pieces.
Yeah, dude. You know what? I think Glios, if I would have got into Glios a long time ago, I'd
Ooh, that's
probably
a
be,
dangerous road.
I know, dude. And that's what I'm saying. I think I would have really gone off the deep end on that shit.
Check these freaking dudes.
Who's the artist on that?
This is gonna be Monster Boy. This is a collaboration with Turn Up Toys, and they're gonna be at the Thailand Toy Expo. But I couldn't help it.
Dude.
I had to showcase these guys off. They just look fucking cool as hell.
Oh, for sure, dude. I've seen a lot of people, vinyl artists that are going to be at that Thailand toy show. Holy shit, man. That thing looks fucking nuts, dude. I mean, if you want to go to Thailand, but holy smokes.
Right now, eh?
Yeah, damn. Those are cool, dude.
Last tab before I force you to show us some more of your toys. Meg Toys, I believe they're actually over in Mexico or Spain, if I had to guess. But they've been recently bootlegging the creature of the Black Lagoon. Is it Donatello?
Mmm.
But that pile of them, dude. Look at all those colors,
Mmm.
right? They just look fucking amazing.
Yeah, dude, those are nice.
It looks like they're using an actual like factory steel mold style,
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. I'm like, what's going on here, dude? And those are resin
right?
or what is that?
And like these look like resin to me. But yeah, Homeboy's just pounding them out.
Wow.
I don't know what it is about seeing them all in those different colorways too. Like like that just looks sick to me, dude.
Yeah, that's cool. That's real cool. That
Beautiful.
steel mold has got to be questioning what the fuck that is.
Right? Suddenly it's like, wait a minute, factory mold?
Yeah. You know what? I
And
was talking this. I was
Leo.
what do you think happens to all those molds? Because they're expensive, right? And then after they're done using them, I mean, it's not like something you just throw in the trash. What happens to those fucking
Some
things,
do.
dude?
I mean, like if you go debunked or your factory goes debunked, like some do end up in landfills or whatever, unfortunately. Like
That's
it's just
horrible,
the way
man.
it is.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting, I swear by this one, and like unfortunately, it's just not enough like info. I guess you'd have to go down like quite the rabbit hole. But like, I think those TRJ rubber Dungeons and Dragons figures. Every time I see those, and then you look at the original released like die cast metal ones that they released, they seem like a four up. And it's so hard for my brain not to be like, okay, so at some point another company came in and bought you because the TRJ is different than like the first run of those little diecast ones. And I even wonder if like the new company coming in saw basically either the four ups or would have seen maybe some of the factory molds and been like, action figures are cool, not Monopoly pieces. Why aren't we making these? And having the four ups would have been able to just generate those big rubber toys that would fit more with like a He-Man or TMNT action figure. So
Yeah.
sometimes I guess depending on like who buys it, who owns the licensing, but that's why I always kind of say like when you guys send off a mold like that extra terrestrial swamp thing piece that he had Copper Fangs do the
Mhm.
sculpt on, if that mold exists somewhere, like are you going to travel over there and just tell them never to use that fucking steel mold? Or if that company goes debunked and they sell all their assets, are you going to tell that brand new person not to make any of those Swamp Thing toys? Like, that's what I mean sometimes when I'm like, dudes, these are out there now. Like these exist
Yeah.
now. Like,
Well, and
and
that's what Suki says as company used to bury the mold so that the competition couldn't get their hands on them, which makes a lot of sense.
like all those
Wow.
poor ET video games.
Oh God, dude, that Atari game, bro, what a piece of shit that was. I used to hate that thing. I remember putting that thing in and just like watching the screen for like 5 minutes and just going, "What the fuck?" and it's just taking it out and playing Jordan versus Bird instead. Um, oh, with miniatures, yeah, Pope Toys knows about the miniatures. Reaper Minis and Turnkey still sell old molds. Oh, nice. Yeah, I know they pop up on eBay now and then, but it's just you see it like the size of them and what they're made out of, and you're just like, fucking hey, dude, that's like what happens to those things?
Right?
Anyways,
Show us more toys.
show us more toys. All right, all right, all right, all right. How about this one, dude? This one's from Cave Dweller. This one is really cool, man. I picked this one up at Assembly Required in Philly. This was a showpiece that he did, but when you take it out and you start looking at it, man, he did a lot of work on that. Check that out, 3.75, really nice paint work. all over, and it looks like a kit bash, dude. And it looks like, I think the hands are on different arms there, and it came out great. The paint looks really good.
Yeah.
Static figure, but man, very, very nice. The spray paint work on it is really good. Like I said,
See,
the
that's a
details on
funny
the foot.
example of something that like it's so good, but also so stupid. Like it turned
Yeah,
out so fucking good, but at the same time, you're looking at it being like, the fuck is this?
yeah, super cool, man. But for a kit bash repaint, dude, that's a lot of work. I mean, it's still a kit bash, but it's like I mean, I guess you could say it's just like a kit bash with more work in it, right? Like if you're cutting the hands off something and putting them on arms as opposed to using the whole arm, you could say that's more work. But whatever it is, man, I think the work looks really good overall. Cave Dweller toys on that one.
That's very seamless, dude.
Yeah, looks real good. Nice. Bam, Cave Dweller, and then he's got that one just came bagged up. Came with the sticker, bam, and then a little business card, which I'm seeing more and more people start to do. It's kind of cool. Bam, there you go. Cave Dweller toys on that one. Final faction body. There you go,
Yeah,
Bliss.
that's
Yeah,
what I
with
thought. Looked like
different.
one of the robot bodies for the good guys.
Yeah. There you go with different hands. I think I have some other wolf figures that have those hands. I remember the fingers look all fucking crazy, which I really like about the hands on that. Bam.
No, it's gnarly, and honestly, a solid as fuck paint job on there.
Yeah, real nice. Really nice, man. We'll take a look at this one next. This is another one from Assembly Required. This is some of Resin Blood's latest resin work. Speaking of Resin Blood, that comic is about to drop in about the next week or so. Keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Those are
Approximately
gonna,
2 weeks.
yeah, dude, and they are priced to sell. And I would imagine that they won't be around for very long because he's got them going to a bunch of different places. So when you see that comic come out, man, if you want one, you guys better jump on one. I'm telling you, you're going to be able to, you're going to love the price on them. It's like you're making me buy it. But this is from Resin Blood. Look how thick that cape is, dude. All his cape work is really thick vinyl, but this is sick, man. This is
Not
magnetically articulated in the arms.
nice. Nice.
Yeah, nice cape with the chain on it. Oh,
That's solid as
um,
fuck.
yeah, nice original art there with the sticker. Bam. Resin Blood, man. That's I would say that's probably his sweet spot, man. Making some resin, custom header, bag it up, send it out. Good to go. Um, he's got a few shows coming up here in the next few months, but lots of stuff available in his shop too. So check that out, including there's some of those. He's also got vinyl shirts, canvas work. Um, yeah, Bliss. If he doesn't, that's a great question, man. If he doesn't, bro, I'll get one and send it to you. Straight up. That's I he did a little flip through on a reel today. And God, man, that thing it's looking so fresh, dude. Looks really, really good. So that'll be cool. Next,
Well,
also, oh,
real
go
quick,
ahead.
just because you're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it, but a real quick flip through of that exact comic book that they were
yeah.
talking about. Yes,
Mainliners is what it's called.
and they're hoping for a 2 week release.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know what
mainland
that
is a dystopian future in total chaos. The elites have turned the police out of the enemy. All religions abolished due to the obvious common sense factor of disclosure. Aliens, mutants, robots, and werewolves walk among us. What's left of the drug infested human race? The troubles for a vampire trying to feed. The troubles for everyone trying to survive. Coming soon.
Yeah.
Like, the fucking colors on that, dude, just popping.
Yeah, dude, it's really,
Dang.
really good. And I think, I'm not ruining a surprise or anything like that, but of course, this is going to be, I think it's like magazine size, but then he's got a really good connection at a couple comic book shops. And that's why I'm saying that, like, if you want one, you got to grab one like right away, because I think he's also going to make it in a comic book size for kind of the comic book crowd. And they have at one of these comic book stores is having a big, they do like these drops on Wednesdays, Comic Book Wednesday. Um, and I think that he's going to be doing some sort of
Nice.
signing or something over there. So those things are going to go quick, man. And like, I don't know how you can pick that up and, for a few bucks, look at that thing and go, nah, I'm not going to buy that. Like, you're crazy, man.
Right?
Um, DK Toy says no more Weeping Warlocks available, but we'll be looking to pick up more for a paint for sure. So yeah,
Nice.
absolutely, man. DK Toys, dude. That's uh take a look at his page, because there are other vinyl pieces on there that he's painted, and the paintwork is really good, man. That's a fun account to follow. US Vinyl, man. Really, really cool.
US vinyl. Gonna show us more toys. You want more tabs?
I'll show this one real quick, just because it's the Plastico Suavecito that we showed when Leon was on. Again, man, I've been following this account for quite some time now, and this was the first piece that I got. This was actually via Edwin Salas at um, Assembly Required. He had a bunch of these pieces from him, not of the same one, but just some product from him. So when I saw it, I snagged it up because it's not one that they become available very much. He is out of Mexico. But yeah, 5.5, kind of bootleggy style. Packaging, like I said, stapled to the card, thin stock. And it's just that bootleggy goodness, man. That's the best way I can put that is it's the same way that Leon said, not only did he grow up collecting bootleg stuff, but the aesthetic is something that's really cool too. And I love that slime green, of course. But the paint on it is cool. Sharp looking figure, man.
No, it's a solid pour. Even like the
Yeah.
fangs for some reason are fun as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Straight up. Good one, man. Masters de la Galaxia. So there you go. He's got some really good 5.5 work. If you flip through his page, the drop for the new stuff is Saturday, 10 a.m. Central. Boom. Oh yeah, dude. So if you look on DK Toys, he's got I keep on saying DK, it should be Decay Toys on his website. It sounds like he's going to be getting back into a little bit of resin as well too. There was there's a trooper in there. That's, I believe, a static figure. So keep an eye out for some more resin work as well. Very, very cool at the nice price as well.
Just because we just mentioned them, so I would just
Yeah.
flag it up real quick. Yeah, toy drop, 10 a.m. or
Oh,
426.
mm,
Just a little sampling of their work, I guess. Give you a
yeah,
little breeze through.
very nice. Very
Very nice.
cool. Very nice. Last one I'm going to show, man. This one, oh, real quick. Boom. There it is. Check that out. The last one that I got right here, holy moly, dude. Speaking of business cards, bam, there's another Decay Toys business card. This is a Mad Trench from Mad Monk vinyl. This is painted by Ophelia. This was a run of, I believe, uh, 3, 4, 5, something like that. 6, maybe.
That
Um,
is gorgeous, dude.
I mean, I saw this shit and was like, holy fuck, man. Um, dude, I am a huge fan of Ophelia and just their overall aesthetic and their paint work. As far as a vinyl figure goes, this Mad Trench is absolutely one of my favorites. I feel like when I got the original colorway green in one of these, it really felt like a grail piece to me. Um, I've seen other people with, numerous of these in their collection, and I'm super fucking envious of that shit. But it's a badass figure. The paint job, like I said, by Ophelia, super, super sick. The card work also super sick. Mad Monk 1869. If you're not following,
Damn,
wake
yeah,
up.
that's subtle but gorgeous. Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
very cool. And then also he included these little print like some artwork cards of the boom. So there you go, man. The Mad Trench painted by Ophelia, figure by Mad Monk 1869. Follow both if you are living on the moon. But sick piece, man. Ophelia, that drop was nuts, man. He had some of those, and then some of those bats and all that stuff sold out almost right away. I think he actually did a lottery for them. But yeah, super sick. Very, very cool.
Yeah, it's an astounding piece, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely stupidly gorgeous.
The gold too, man. I was surprised that there was so much gold on it. But it looks
It's almost like
like
the rose gold.
yeah, it's like the gold in the background, dude, it's really, really sharp, dude. Bam. Bleh.
It almost looks like it's color shifting with the purple in there.
Yeah.
That's just, yeah, that's a stupidly gorgeous piece, dude.
And you know what? Swarmco, he did a one-off and painted it, and it's got kind of the same look to it visually, but um color shift.
I'm
Uh
with you.
yeah, it does. It looks yeah, I don't know, whatever it is, man. It's badass.
Speaking of badass, we're gonna get these last couple little tabbies out of the way here and let these yahoos get on.
Sir.
But Bernard Hart doing a little drop Friday at noon if you've been looking to get your hands on some of these little baddies.
And those are if you've seen the earlier ones or have one of the earlier ones, if you've seen the scale of these are like twice as big, which the
No doubt.
original ones were big. These ones are fucking, yeah, dude, look at that.
They just keep getting bigger.
I actually have that one in the front, that pink and blue. But yeah, I mean, look how big those are, dude. Those are great.
Right? That's what I say all the time. Cost Robot actually did a collab with Toy Pizza, and I thought that was a sick, like, not often we get to see one of the homies do a sculpt job and then have it be picked up by Toy Pizza and O'Neill. And now it's in the store. So if you were looking to get one of these bad boys, Toy Pizza's got them in store now, hand sculpted by Cost Robot, using the O'Neill Glios articulation, 4 inches, 37 CAD. And the last thing, just 'cause I think it looks absolutely fucking stupid, number 2 combo is going to be at that Toronto Toy Riot, and look at this bag of yellow they got right before it.
Dude. All right, man. All right. So I may have to send you on a mission, my bro. I saw that these guys were going to be there, and I'm just like, oh boy. I've been waiting to get my hands on one of those, dude. Those things have been sold out. I haven't seen the yellow, but they did the glow ones, and there are some painted
Cool.
ones. They've been sold out for a while on their site.
Even what's tough, the glow ones when they were up there, they were like 25, maybe $30, I think. And they sat there for a while, and then
I know, dude. So stupid. I don't know how many times I looked at them. I'm just like, oh yeah, I should buy one of those.
ain't
And next
that
thing
the
you know, I'm just
way?
like, I'm gonna buy one now. And you go back and you're just like, well, that was dumb.
Always the way, dude.
Yeah.
And all that being said, it is 10:58. We have almost wrapped it right up to a 2 hour. Anything you
How
want to
about
say before
that?
we let them go home?
Just that we got Headcase Toys on the show next week. So join us for that one. That will be very cool. Also next week we are going to do a wrap up of some sorts for the Robot Resurrection show. Robot Resurrection is dropping this Sunday, April the 5th. Make sure you check that out. Just log on to Instagram. You'll see everything there. But that's going to be a fantastic show. Congrats to everybody that's in that one. Congrats to Ernie for a 3rd year running on that one. Super sick show, man. Looking forward to seeing all those pieces on Sunday. Sunday. Headcase Toys next week.